Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you have a blast. Because tonight, my first proper science fiction novel, Project Hail Mary. Yeah. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, so yeah, this is my first time reading any kind of serious science fiction. It's called hard science fiction. I'll get back to that in a moment. How did I feel about this book? Yeah, happy, amazed. I really love this book, people. I love this book. It is beautiful. It's got so many wonderful themes of friendship. And just, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. But this is a special book. And I have to say, one thing that I was worried about, and maybe in the first 30 or 40 pages, I was kind of worried. There's a lot of science and mathematics in this book, people. And you know, there's a lot of questions about someone that doesn't do science. Can they enjoy this book? Well, I did. I thought it was brilliant. Because it's the way the science is presented. It kind of flows beautifully in with the narrative, with the text, with the storytelling. And it's also the story's first person perspective of this teacher. And it's problem solving. There's problems and it needs solving. And you're going from one problem to the other. And as I'm going to tell you about the story soon, the stakes are high. But it's also a lot of humor, people. It's a funny book. And there's all sorts of little sarcastic stuff in between. And so it's just so readable. At places kind of gentle, which makes the science gentle. And yeah, I had a blast. I really enjoyed this book. And I want to read something to you, just give you an idea of the humor. Okay, it says here, normally a nano syringe, that's something you wouldn't hear on my channel very often, would be controlled by finely tuned apparatus or equipment. But I just wanted some stabby time and didn't care about the tool's integrity. And then he talks to his boss. Kind of going to go there. I penetrated the outer cell membrane with a nano syringe. You poked it with a stick? No, I said. Well, yeah. But it was a scientific poke with a very scientific stick. Yeah. So there's like humor running throughout the story. I found it, yeah, some of the maths and science went over my head. I didn't do very well at school, with maths and science. I was an English and arts kind of person, but I still connected with the story, yeah, very deeply, and it made me smile. And I'm going to tell you why now. Oh, but before we get there, just one more thing. This is a spoiler review, people. I normally do book reviews with a kind of non-spoiler section and a spoiler section, but I'm not going to do it with this book. Because I think you need to go in completely blind with the story, because there are mysteries to be uncovered that are wonderful, and even right from the beginning, it's best not to know what's going on. And I don't want to take a risk of doing a spoiler-free section and then like kind of giving away stuff that maybe I shouldn't give away. So I'm just going to say, if you haven't read this book, yeah, I'll just say thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it was great. Remember this video, when you finish the book, you just read the book and come back and watch this video. Because yeah, this is going to be a spoiler review. Yeah. Okay, let's get to the very basic premise of the book. So what do we have? We have a man who wakes up in a room. And yeah, he's naked and he's got these tubes all over his body. Like, sticking into his body. Obviously for nutrition or whatever, and one where the sun doesn't shine, and another one where, yeah, I'm not going to go there. But anyway, he's got amnesia, woken from a coma, and he has absolutely no idea who he is. He doesn't know his name, he doesn't know where he is, he doesn't know why he is where he is, and he has to discover these things. And that's all we know from the very beginning. And basically you've got these computer arms It's his only companion. And yeah, before he becomes fully awake, it's like, what's 2 plus 2? Rah, rah, rah. Incorrect answer. And so on, until he becomes awake. And then, what is your name? And he can't say his name, he can't remember his name. Incorrect answer. And the whole point is that he can't get out of where he is. Okay, we know he's in a spaceship, people. Spoilers, right? We know he's in a spaceship. But he's in one part of the spaceship. Let's call it the coma room. And he can't get out of there until he remembers his name. And that's something I really like about this book, is that there's flashbacks to the past that kind of help him discover things in the present as he slowly kind of gets his mind back, gets his memories back. The first thing is his name. So the structure of this book, in some books it might not work, but it works here. So you have this guy in the present, in space, and it's deep outer space. And yeah, he's in this one part of the spacecraft, and he doesn't know his name. And then you go back, to the past, and we learn about who he is. We learn his name. We learn about why he is where he is. And yeah, it turns out that he is the only hope left for planet Earth. It's going to be an extinction event, by people. And he's all that's left. And yeah, so we go back, and a name will be dropped someone. Maybe a waitress will say his name. And then we go back to the present. Oh, that's my name. Now you can get into the next room. Level completed, right? So then you can go into the next part of the spacecraft. And I love this because it actually says something like this in the book. And I just want to show you. And this is really good. Not that I really know what those look like, but all I've discovered so far is a coma room, as I said, and a lab. The other hatch, that other hatch on the lab, the one that leads further up, that must be important. This is like being in a video game. Level up. But instead of searching bookshelves and garbage cans, I have to search my mind. Because key is my own name. Right? Yeah. So at the beginning of the book, we are presented with a map. And it's a map of the spacecraft. So this is right at the beginning of the book. Okay, I hope you can see that. But it's right at the beginning of the book. And yeah, there are different levels to the spacecraft. We don't know what it is yet, but we know he's in a spacecraft. And there are levels like cable, dormitory, lab, airlock, and right at the top, Beatles. And so yeah, as he's moving through here, he discovers who he is as a result of his kind of flashbacks. He discovers his purpose. He discovers, I'm going to go into this now, what he is, who he is, and how he came to be there. But it's really interesting, because sometimes in the present you left at like a kind of a moment, and then you go flashback. And that could really destroy the moment in other books. But I enjoyed it, because both journeys were important and were interesting. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that particular part. Okay, so we're going back in this guy's mind. He's amnesiac. He's slowly getting his memories back. And we're learning about the past, and we're learning about the present, as he's learning about why he should be on the ship. And his name is Ryland Grace. Let's call him Dr. Grace. And yeah, he's the protagonist of the story. It's told from his perspective. And he's a science teacher, a junior science teacher, but he's much more than that. He's actually a microbiologist, I believe. And yeah, so he's actually pretty brilliant in science. But he's also very flawed. As we learn in the book, he's a bit of a coward maybe. But for me, he has some serious redeeming qualities. The fact that he's a teacher, I'm an ex-teacher. But he also undergoes a kind of awesome character arc as the book goes on. And we're going to get to the best part of the book just now. But yeah, so he learns about the past. And he learns about what's happening to the Earth. And there's a huge threat, people. There's an extinction event. There's this thing called astrophage. Yes, astrophage. That's like a molecular thing. We're going to get sciencey. That's called an astrophage. And that it is eating the sun very, very slowly. So like in 30, 40 years, it's going to be a new ice age that's going to destroy the population. So it's the things we learn in his past. And he's got to save the world. And basically, yeah, scientists or all the governments kind of pull together with one woman that's in charge. I'm not going to go into all that detail, but it is compelling reading. And yeah, it's like they build a ship called Hail Mary. Now, Hail Mary is an American football term. I'm South African. Don't know how I know the term, but I have watched some American football. That's when you throw. It's kind of a hope for, hope for anything to happen. Everyone's in the end zone, and so it's a Hail Mary pass. Just, yeah, please, someone catch the ball in the end zone. That's what's happening with this ship. It's a very special ship. And even the astrophage are used in the ship for fuel, but it's going out into the solar system because these things, this alien molecular things, okay, I'm terrible with this, but they're eating all the suns in the universe, you can see, except for one star. So everyone thinks on Earth, they're going to put everything together, put some astronauts out there, and let's see if we can gather some data to save our world. And yeah, so these astronauts board the ship and they head out to the star. And the other astronauts that are with Dr. Grace, they die. They die. And they're like kind of mummified. And so he's alone with amnesia, and now we know. Yeah. And he has the abilities, he has the scientific knowledge, but he's just a teacher. But he's a lot more than that. He's kind of an everyman, but yeah, he has to save the world. Okay, people, up to this part of the book, I think it was about 3.5, 4 stars. It came to a point in the book where everything changed for me, because it became a book about first contact with an alien being. So yeah, here's this guy, and he's still struggling with the science, but by now he's got into the control tower. He's learning about what's happening. He's learning about why he's there, what he needs to do, but he's alone. But then he is not alone. And yeah, we find first contact with this other alien spacecraft, people. And then one of the most awesome characters ever, fiction, kind of comes on the scene. This character is Rocky. Rocky's my man. Anyway, they basically form a friendship because Rocky, I'm not going to tell you how he gets onto the ship, all that stuff. You must read the book. But Rocky has a similar problem with his planet. In fact, the same problem. These astrophages, butchering this, I read horror, not science, people. But anyway, these things are also threatening his planet. And so he's there for the same reason as Dr. Grace. And yeah, they learn about each other. They kind of learn each other's language, not so much like computer, and Rocky has to fill in the gaps and whatever, but they learn about each other and they cooperate. And yeah, it's just this beautiful friendship, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful book with this friendship. And they bond, and they have to, because planets are at stake, and they work bloody hard. Is it easy? No. They face terrible danger, like in nightmarish situations, but a friendship is formed. And some of the dialogue in this book, and in particular the dialogue between Rocky and Grace, is just some of the best ever. I'm going to give you an example of a couple of things, okay? Bear with me. Yeah, one of the things they kind of learn to do is they do kind of hand gestures. And one of the things they do is that, if they discover something awesome, and they're both happy, and they're both celebrating, yeah, they'll do a fist bump, right? Yeah. Fist me. I push my knuckles against the zenithite. It's fist bump, but yeah. And then later, he puts his claw against the divider. Fist my bump. Yeah, fist bump. It's just fist bump. Understand? Right. It's just beautiful dialogue. And it's things like, you will miss me, question. I will miss you, you are a friend. Yeah, I'm going to miss you too. I take another swig of vodka. You're my friend. Heck, you're my best friend. There's a lot of moments of friendship and kind of pain and heartache as well. And there's some choices they have to make. Ultimately, there's some big choices they have to make about what's going to happen. And in particular with Dr. Grace. And he makes a choice at the end of the book. I think the ending is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to talk about that now. Yeah. But it is a stunning book. It's about sacrifice, friendship, love. Working together, collaborating together, even though you're different species. Having to do it for the sake of all life. And yeah, pushing the boundaries. And just, I loved it. I loved it. It made me smile. So, yeah, let me just get to the ending quickly. Let me just read this. I was kind of in tears, people. Good, good, he says. I make sure my people, this is Rocky, take good care of you. They will make astrophage, maybe for you to go home. Yeah, I say, about that, I'm not going home. The Beatles will save Earth, but I won't ever see it again. I mean, it was supposed to be a suicide mission in the first place. His joyous bouncing stops. Why? Question. I don't have enough food. After I take you back to Irid, I will die. You cannot die. His voice gets low. I no let you die. We send you home. Irid will be grateful. You save everyone. We do everything to save you. Now, yeah, it's a beautiful ending. Like I said, I love the relationship, and I think a lot of people do. This is a beloved novel, and I'm hoping you've read the novel if you're watching this, because I warned you at the beginning, and I'm going to say this is a big spoiler review, right? We're just talking about what I liked. And I love the ending, people. I love the ending. I'm an English teacher. Definitely not a science teacher. But I'm an English teacher. And that ending, the last chapter, I'm not going to read it to you, but you know what I'm talking about. I think it was absolutely perfect. Because he cared about his kids. And he thought about his kids. And now he's got some new kids. Class of his own. And it's just left me with this grin. What a book. What a book. Has to be 5 stars. Yeah. Okay, everyone, so I have to think of a favourite part of the book. It's got to be that last paragraph. That last chapter. Yeah, it's got a new home. I just love it. I just think it's perfect. And I love how the book got better and better and better as I read the book. And more mysteries and just more wonders revealed as you read the book. And with this guy, Dr. Grace, and his character transformation in a way. Once a teacher, always a teacher. And the last thing I want to say is I saw the film trailer, and I definitely want to watch that movie. It looks awesome. But yeah, everyone, I'm not going to ask you if you've read this book, because you have. I'm assuming you have. But I hope you enjoyed this review. I plan to do more reviews in future, particularly of 5-star books that I've read. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. Take care of yourselves and each other in this world we live in. Until next time, keep those pages turning. Cheers.